What is up, everybody? Welcome to Three Geeks Chatting. I'm Nicholas.
I'm Stacy.
I'm Hannah.
And today, our topic is...
Marvel theories.
Marvel
And your
theories.
microphone's falling.
Marvel theories as the microphone falls.
So, the first one that I thought of is it possible that Thanos wanted to stop the Celsius? The big thing in Eternals.
Okay, yeah.
That's just,
I didn't pay attention to Eternals.
it's
So-
the large guy at the very end.
Yeah, so
So,
the more populated the planet is, I think it was, it causes the god that lives inside the planet to come out. You know Galactus, what Silver Surfer fights?
Yes.
It's one of them. You know and so when the population gets so much, the god breaks out and consumes the planet.
yeah. Thanos' goal was to curb population in the universe by erasing half of all life. In Eternals, we learn about the Celsius are huge beings that merge from planets. When enough intelligent life forms on them, their bursts destroy worlds. However, Thanos' snap delayed the emerge on Earth because the population was temporarily reduced. Given that the big bad brother was an Eternal, it seems plausible that Thanos knew about Celsius. What if the Mad Titan's goal was to stop the destruction of the entire planet by preventing their populations from getting big enough to let the comics begin merge?
I've actually seen that. I've heard that theory before because Eternals was one of the first movies that came out after Phase 3. Eternals was one of the ones that kicked off Phase 4. Honestly, I don't know if I truly think that would be the reason, though. I don't, because Thanos' brother is, in fact, in the end of Eternals, Harry Styles plays Thanos' brother. But personally, I feel like it was more of an afterthought than part of the main goal. You know what I mean?
It could have been tied in with something that he wanted
Yeah,
else to do, but it could be a possibility.
I think I think it's a pretty interesting possibility. But like I said, I don't know, because Thanos was all about balance. You know, as all things should be.
But the Celsius destroying half the population is not balance.
That's true. That is true.
Is there a Celsius on every planet? Because Gamora's planet got halved.
It's not clarified
Yeah.
if there's one on every
I
planet.
think the Celsius, doesn't it just take once it gets big, it absorbs all the planets. It gets big enough. Because if the Eternals didn't stop it, it was gonna destroy everything, right?
I don't know to what degree of what the Celsius does.
I've only known about it prior to Eternals.
I wasn't a fan of Eternals. I was a fan of it. I thought it was a great movie, and I thought the ending was really good. But I haven't really done much research on it because I don't know much about it.
I do know that they're saying that the Shang, if that's how you say that, Legend of the Ten Rings,
Yeah.
that he got the Ten Rings from the Eternals.
Are you talking about his father?
Could have been his father. I don't know all the details.
Yeah.
But they do have rings in there that gotta line up, and there is 10 of them.
Yeah. I know what you're talking about.
Yeah. I don't know too.
Because the movies came out hand in hand.
I'm pretty sure it was Eternals and then Shang-Chi.
I think when I first watched it, I think the original theory that I had, because Shang-Chi released before Eternals, and we saw that one in theaters, and then we watched Eternals on Disney Plus. Is I truly believe that it was reversed on the order that it happened,
I
though.
do too.
That Eternals happened before Shang-Chi, and the reason for it is I think that the what Shang-Chi has behind that door, because they never released, if I remember correctly, the end of Shang-Chi, they didn't have that portal open up, right? I think it involved, it had something to do with being combined with Eternals, because Eternals, or the end of Eternals has Blade, which is the vampire slayer. Shang-Chi is in fact connected to the Eternals.
Yeah.
What?
I really didn't pay attention to that movie. Oh my gosh.
I know you didn't.
Like, where's Blade? Wait, Blade?
Blade was at the end of Eternals, yeah.
What?
Harry Styles was at the end of Eternals
Yep.
as Thanos' brother. And then you had the little dwarf.
Yeah. I didn't.
It was a good movie. I liked it.
It was not my favorite.
I really
I
liked it.
couldn't focus.
Well, look at this theory. You would need to focus on that.
Yeah. I'm
That's why I
excited.
have you here.
If that's the theories you've started with, I'm excited to see where you're gonna go with these.
Pay attention to the rest of the MCU,
Okay.
just not that one.
We haven't watched a lot of them lately.
Oh, I've watched pretty much everyone that's came out besides from Madam Web.
I haven't watched TV shows.
I've watched almost every TV show except for the second one is, and then
I haven't watched.
Secret Invasion.
I haven't even watched Loki.
We
season
didn't.
2.
I didn't
finished
finish Loki
Yeah, I haven't
yet.
finished
Good.
it.
I haven't. Only series I have not watched. That's not counting like Punisher or anything like that.
Mm.
But like the newer series is Secret Invasion and season 2 of What Ifs.
I didn't even know season 2 came out already.
It's been out for a little bit too, I think.
Is it good?
I haven't watched the season.
Oh,
2.
you just said you haven't
I've
watched it. I'm
seen
sorry.
clips.
It's
It
fine.
looks
Season
good.
1 I finished. I
Yeah.
haven't watched season 2. I need to do. It was only like 30 minutes. It was only like 9 episodes or something like that.
Yeah,
So
pretty
it'd take
short.
me a night to get through.
Yeah, and you've binged more and longer episodes.
Yeah.
What's your next theory? I'm really excited
Okay.
now to hear this next one. She has like 3 pages.
I think it's close to 5.
Yeah. Okay.
So the second one is Odin once sought the Infinity Stones.
Oh, I've heard
I can
this
see that.
one. Yeah, because
When-
he has the gauntlet.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
When Helena is in Odin's treasure vault, she mentions the Infinity Gauntlet is a knockoff.
Yeah.
Maybe she knew what the real one looks like because Odin tried to find the stones. The space stone was first found in Norway.
Yeah.
Odin may have known about the ether stone's locations since his Dabor, I think that's how you say that, hid it. After learning Hela is Thor's half sister, we don't know anything what happened to her mother. Never says. So maybe Odin sacrificed her mother for the soul stone and afterwards returned it out of regret and decided to stop looking. This would explain why he suddenly locked up Helena and focused on peace.
Man. There is. I have seen theory that he was after the Infinity
He knew
Stone.
what almost half of them was.
Yeah.
And he had a gauntlet down in his treasure vault.
There's also the fact that, if I remember correctly, Helena and Thanos
For love interest.
were love interests. Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
I've
I
seen
thought
that.
Thanos wanted death.
She is death.
Yeah, Helena's
Oh.
death.
Sorry. Yeah, she is, isn't she? I
Uh-huh.
forgot about that.
Yeah.
I don't know. My brain went to the comics, and she don't look like anything she does in the comics, which that would have been pretty cool.
So
But the actress is so beautiful they couldn't do that.
next one, I don't know if it'd really be a theory, but after I wrote it down, and I guess if you actually really watch it, we could have, if we knew where Marvel was headed, we probably could have figured out they were having Infinity Stones before Infinity Wars.
I think some people did have that.
Because the 6 original members represent the Infinity Stones.
I've heard this one.
So you have Iron Man as the mind, arguably the smartest one. Thor is space because he comes from different / fairways, places traveling through the Bifrost. Hulk is power, obviously.
Yeah.
Captain America is time because he lived in and experienced different eras, essentially traveling through the time. Black Widow is reality because she's one of the toughest arguments to make, but I think for her experiments with the Red Room has made her considered what could have been other realities. Also, her tendency to see both sides, like in Civil War,
Yeah.
determines her abilities to consider the reality,
The
complex of reality.
Now, do you think they had this planned out that far ahead, or do you think it was coincidental?
With Stan Lee, I don't put it past him
That's true.
because he had a lot of movies planned
Yeah.
in time.
Now, do you think that the Marvel movies are slipping
Yes.
here recently because of his passing?
Yes.
Because I think
I don't feel like they're as good.
yeah.
Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 was really good.
Guardians of the Galaxy
It was probably already written before he passed, though.
and the Spider-Man movies.
Oh, Spider-Man movies, yeah.
But we talk about Morbius that wasn't written by him.
Morbius
still
was
haven't
pretty
seen that one.
rough.
It was rough.
Me and Hannah went and saw that one.
Yeah.
You were sick that night. That
It
was
was rough.
yeah, that was rough. They had Matt Smith in it.
And then we have Hawkeye, which is the soul, and the heart of the team often has to sacrifice loved ones, figuratively leaving his family to do what he believes in. So it was kind of almost lined out.
That's true. It was. I don't know. That's a theory that I'd be willing to argue against. And it's just my opinion. I think that they're all pretty accurate to their comic book counterparts. But I don't know if I would go with they were based on the Infinity Stones.
They
Or-
may not have started based on the
Yeah.
Infinity Stones, but it could have went because Iron Man has the Mind Stone at the end.
Yeah.
Thor has space, and technically the Ether, but that was supposed to be. Technically, Gamora has the Ether Stone
Yeah.
because it's in her blade.
It's true.
That's why Thanos was hunting her down. But that's also what gets in Jane, and I hide it.
Yeah. I don't know.
I also seen a theory, and I don't know how true it is, but the gatekeeper, I can't,
Yeah.
on Thor,
Yeah.
was the holder of the Infinity Soul Stone, because he could see all the souls and know everything, and his eyes glue yellow. But I don't know how if that would be true or not.
Yeah, that'd be a tough one. His son does the same thing though.
Mm.
DNA.
I looked into
Okay.
it, and it's like his
Speaking of DNA,
special powers.
did you catch our last episode about cloning? If not, go watch it now. After this episode.
So I can see that one being kind of arguable. I don't know. I was curious on it. I didn't write it down as a theory, but it did pique my interest.
I think that's pretty. I think that one's interesting. I don't know much about him in the comic book enough to argue it or to approve of it. You know what I mean? In my opinion, I like Hymnal.
Heimdall.
Heimdall.
Heimdall, yeah, is his name.
Another theory that I've seen that the Stormbreaker was actually made to be able to pull back Thor in case he got on an outrage, because Odin knew the potential with Helena. So he made the Stormbreaker not to kill Thor, but to pretty much strip his powers away almost.
Really?
That's another theory that I've heard.
Yeah,
But because Thor always thought his powers came from the hammer,
yeah.
and then it got took away, and he still had his powers, so it didn't come from the hammer.
Yeah, which I really... Thor 3 was one of the best Thor movies. And that scene where he's like... They bring in the AC/DC stuff. It's just... I rewatch it on YouTube because it was just such a good scene. Thor 3 really
Love and Thunder
showed...
was-
Yeah.
Stanley write that?
Love and Thunder? Stanley had been passed away for a while by then.
Yeah, but I didn't know like how far he. There was a certain point where he stopped on
Yeah.
movies, and I thought Black Widow was his last one he wrote.
I mean, he's going to be involved in spirit no matter what because he created these characters. So
So, is it possible that Bucky was brainwashed into killing Peter's parents as the Winter Soldier?
That's an interesting one because no one has seen... They've not touched base on the new Peter Parker, Tom Holland's Parker, at all involving his parents, to the point where no one knows what his parents do.
So, Bucky was brainwashed into completing several assassinations when he turned into the Winter Soldier by, how do you say his name? Zola?
I can't...
Zola, how do you say
yeah.
it?
Yeah, Zal.
Zal. He killed Tony's
Zal, I don't know.
parents. What if he killed Peter's? One of the hints is to activate Bucky's mind was Homecoming, which was Spider-Man's first film with Tom Holland.
But what's the motive to killing Peter's parents unless... I mean, if we know nothing about this Spider-Man's parents...
What's the motive?
Yeah, what's the motive? Because, like, Iron Man, Tony Stark, his parents, obviously, there's a big motivator there because, he did a lot of stuff. But Peter's parents, we don't know. Like you said, we don't... This new one, Tom Holland's parents, we don't know if that's it unless they're just continuing from the last Spider-Man and just assuming that's part of the thing.
Tony's...
'Cause, I mean, with the last Spider-Man movie, they're obviously just different versions of each other. So does the parents stay the same in every single thing? Like there's always a sacrifice between Aunt May or Uncle Ben or... Well, I don't think Mary Jane ever gets sacrificed. Gwen Stacy, they're always in danger. So maybe that's what they're keeping. So in that sense, yes, there would be a motive.
Because Tom's parents and Peter's parents could have been working together with S.H.I.E.L.D., making them a target for Hydra.
Here's something interesting.
Big age gap, though.
Here's something interesting.
Which one his aunt is?
I looked this up because I was curious on if Peter Parker's parents had been mentioned in anything.
I have not, with Tom Holland.
Here's something I found that might be a little interesting. This was posted a year ago to the question, what happened to Peter Parker's parents and why was he raised by Uncle Ben and Aunt May? They were murdered by the Red Skull, and so orphaned Peter Parker was raised by his aunt
He
and
was
uncle.
like the third Red Skull or something, right?
Yeah. And it says, although he thought they were traitors working for Skull, he later found out they were deep cover double agents working for Nick Fury. Back before Nick Fury was Samuel L. Jackson.
Which would be S.H.I.E.L.D.
Yep.
So that could be my theory.
Motive.
Correct.
Yeah, and that's what I was going to say. It was orchestrated by Captain America villain Red Skull. They were agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. In the original comic book, I do know that they were working on radioactive spiders, which henceforth is, how Peter Parker got his ability. But it said they got in a little too deep, and things went haywire. They were killed in a plane crash.
Yeah.
So,
But was it on purpose?
comic book wise, yes.
So it could be in the movies.
Yeah.
So we got another Spider-Man movie coming. So
Yep. And the original trilogy, Tobey Maguire didn't touch on his parents.
As
And
much.
Andrew Garfield did a lot, and they had the same plot point of the comic, where he was working, on this stuff, and then Tom Holland hasn't touched base on it, but I think that it's going to be something probably similar, because there's no way they're going to stop Spider-Man now. And with the introduction of the multiverse, I think we're just touching surface for Spider-Man, because to this day, Spider-Man is probably the biggest. It's what saved Marvel, as been documented. Spider-Man, Tobey Maguire saved Marvel. So I'm very curious on what they're going to do with Spider-Man here in the future.
then they gotta get Spider-Man and Deadpool together. I'm sorry, I need to see that.
I would be so shocked if the new Deadpool movie does not have Spider-Man in it. I will be so surprised, because do you know what Spider-Man I want in it with Deadpool? Andrew Garfield.
That'd be hilarious.
Andrew Garfield and Ryan Reynolds together as Deadpool and Spider-Man would be insane to me. Tom Holland, great actor. I don't think he's in that position to be the Spider-Man that you see with Deadpool. Tobey Maguire is too mature. He's that older, wiser Spider-Man. Andrew Garfield from the multiverse movie, or No Way Home, or I got him all confused. The No Way Home movie, Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man was still pretty out there and funny. He still pulls off such a good. Andrew Garfield movies were not my favorite, but Andrew Garfield as Spider-Man was phenomenal no matter what. I think Tom Holland's the perfect mixture of both. Tobey Maguire's the perfect Peter Parker. Andrew Garfield was the best Spider-Man persona.
He does get more jokes.
He got more jokes.
Spider-Man.
He got funnier ones. Like when they pulled out the gun, he was like, "Oh no." Or they flipped out the knife, and he's like, "Oh no, my only weakness, small knives." I mean, Andrew Garfield was phenomenal.
I like the movies. I thought they were pretty good.
Yeah, they're pretty good. Well, what's your next one? I'm so excited to hear. Keep going.
So Thanos adopts Gamora only to have someone to sacrifice. It never really says why he adopted Gamora, because it says he never really adopted Gamora because he wanted her, but instead he knew that he had to get the Soul Stone, and he would need someone to sacrifice. But after adopting her, he becomes too attached to her and adopts Nebula. His next plan was to send Nebula and Gamora to the Soul Stone, where Gamora would sacrifice Nebula. That's why he constantly puts them against each other. And to be certain, Gamora would win every time. Every time Nebula lost, he would replace a part of her body with another mechanical part. Not to make her stronger, but actually the opposite, making sure she would always have a disadvantage against her sister. This is also why Nebula seemed to know the price of the Soul Stone, but not Gamora.
But the Thanos didn't know the price of the Soul Stone when he got there with Gamora. And Gamora knew the location of it, but when they got there, Thanos didn't know.
But he was crying.
Yeah.
I think he probably knew. He just may not have acted like it.
I don't know. I don't think he.
He didn't cry till after they.
Yeah, after he said it, I don't think Thanos knew. I think
he took him with her.
that's because she knew the location.
That's true. Yeah, I forgot.
Yeah. Gamora knew the location.
Because Nebula told her, but Nebula knew the sacrifice of the Soul Stone.
Yeah.
How else would she have known that?
I don't know. That's interesting. I don't.
So
That's another one that I personally.
Soulstone, my bad.
That's another one I personally. I'm kind of like Personally, I don't think he did.
That's actually your theory. That's the first thing that pops up.
Mm-hmm.
He didn't know about the price, according to this. He found out when he got to Vomar with Gamora.
Maybe he had maybe thought about it.
Yeah.
Soul Stone, and maybe
Well,
he got
even-
too attached to
even
Gamora
then,
with
like,
another kid.
If we're looking at the movies, the whole movie concept is he didn't. However, it could still be a theory that he did, because he did adopt Gamora. It's personally a theory I don't believe in. And
I would like to know why he adopted her because
Yeah, 'cause
he
it
did
doesn't-
wipe out the whole planet she lived on, but her.
yeah,
Well, he adopted half of it, didn't he?
No, the entire planet.
I thought he just did half.
I thought he did have because he
I
split them up.
Thought he did the whole planet.
Yeah, he
No.
had
'Cause
one
he was
people
killing
on
her
this side,
and he
and
turned
then
her
the
head.
other side he.
Yeah,
But that's because that was the half
Okay,
that
then why'd he
her
take
mom
just
was on.
her?
yeah. That's the part that gets me.
Because if he had kept half the planet,
Yeah.
why did he just send her back?
I don't know.
Probably because he knew his her mom was there on the side that got destroyed. Maybe
Think
he
he
specifically
cares?
did that.
Yeah,
He don't care.
yeah. It is
But
never.
he liked how tough she was.
I was about to say it is never explained, so I don't
And
know.
then he turned around and got Nebula.
Yeah,
So he had two, and for what reason? Because he's powerful in himself. He don't really need Nebula and Gamora.
yeah. And even then, he at the time he was working with another species.
Yeah.
So he technically didn't need them anyways because he had this whole other.
Maybe
He had
he
an
thought
army.
that he needed to sacrifice someone for the Soul Stone, but didn't think it was true. And then when he got there, and he had Gamora, he was sad because it was true, and he had to kill her.
Yeah. I don't know. It does never. Going based off movie, it doesn't explain it. And they make it seem like he did it. However, there are some things that they just don't say why.
Mm-hmm.
And so it does make you think. So, I don't know. Definitely something I don't think they're ever going to talk. Like, they're never going to explain it. Especially with the fact that Guardians of the Galaxy 3 pretty much put the end to Gamora.
I know. I was sad about that.
Yeah, they pretty much showed Gamora, removing her. So
Well, I mean, it's not the original Gamora, anyways.
the original Gamora is splattered somewhere. So,
On the
So.
the mountain on Volmir.
yeah, with Red Skull just sipping his coffee, looking down. Was such a nice guy in real life, by the way. The guy who played Red Skull at Endgame, he's such a nice guy. Yeah, we got to
And he
talk to him.
plays
And The Walking Dead.
and Age of Ultron in the What If series.
Yeah, he's a nice guy.
Very nice guy.
Yeah, got his autograph, definitely. If you ever get the chance to meet him, he's a cool guy. Well, guys, we're so happy that you could stop and listen to us. And what do you guys want to plug?
I stream on Twitch, and it's the Purple Nerd 21.
I'm on TikTok as the Awkward Coupon.
I am on Twitch and TikTok and YouTube as Two Geeks Gaming, along with every other social media that I'm on that I don't actually use. TikTok, Twitch, and YouTube are the ones I'm on frequently. Check us out on TikTok at Three Geeks Chatting. Thank you for listening. I hope you have a great morning, evening, afternoon, night, day, whatever time you're listening to this. Thank you guys so much, and we'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.